Who's to say she can't have both? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating. It's a bad timing.
I'm flying Gabrielle's flag hard all the way home. Don't worry about it.
I'm so invested personally in fake Emily. So like I don't like crazy.
The Emily in Paris season 2 finale blew my mind, and it was a bit of deja vu. Lily, when you discovered that when Emily goes to profess her love again to Gabriel and realizes that he's moving in with Camille, what was your reaction?
Oh my god, I remember reading that going, wait, come on. She finally works up the courage to say something. And then, of course, Camille's behind the door. I just love the fact that Camille had her little earpods on, so that's how it spoils it, because she hears her and then she turns around so innocently and she's like, oh, I didn't see you there. But it's like actually the perfect representation of, I think, Camille's character this season, because there's so many nuanced moments when Camille, playing Camille, is so brilliant at towing that fine line of like, is she or isn't she? Does she know? Does she not know? Is she being mean? Is she being nice? You know? And so the idea that that's how Emily finds out and is so jarred by it, I just found to be just so Emily and the situation. And I was like devastated for her.
Lucas, what was your reaction when you first read the script?
They kind of write the script as we shoot. So we got the last episode really at the last moment. It's an entire season of him trying to actually, he knows what he wants. He knows he wants to be with Emily. It's an entire season of rejection. So I wasn't surprised that at the end he ends up falling with the only person that actually wants him and loves him. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating. It's a bad timing, which is kind of what life is all about.
Well, I guess I'll just see you around then.
You know, I feel like there's just sort of an interesting dynamic between Emily, Camille, and Gabrielle. And I feel like, Emily at the end of season 1 kind of crossed the line with Camille. And I think she spent a lot of season 2 trying to make amends for that and make up for that and do the right thing. And I think in a way, Camille smartly plays Emily in season 2. And Emily wasn't expecting it. And I think by the end of season 2, she decides, enough time has gone by. She wants to, sort of express her true feelings. And because of the deal she makes with Camille, she sort of let Gabrielle go. Camille did not, in a way, hold up her end of the bargain.
No, there's something else behind this. I just don't know yet what it is.
Camille had a lot of layers to her this season. How are you feeling about her journey? And let's be real, shouldn't we all just be mad at Gabrielle?
Yeah, that's quite the girl's code, to be mad at the man and not the girlfriends. Yeah, I'm so grateful that I get more storyline and that Camille is becoming such a more complex and interesting character than in season 1. Also the businesswoman side of it and her relationship with Emily, she doesn't want to lose her. She wants to keep her. She wants to keep her friendship with her. But also as a person, she's trying to figure it out how to react to this new, because it's very hurtful, obviously, but the most important thing is Emily is trying to fix things. And that's why I'm not mad, I guess.
No drama.
I feel like, Gabriel has been very nice and polite and accepting a lot and not very owning up to his decisions, It's just like living things and floating without really caring about who he hurts. I think he knows a bit, but it doesn't really own up to that decision. I feel like I would love to see him, owning up to his actions and going to something a bit in darker corners of his soul, heart, mind. And I don't know. He's always so clean and polite. I just want to mess him up a bit.
Paris from this angle at night. You got me there, Cooper.
Lucien, I need to give you major props because I'm not going to lie, I thought I was going to be a Gabrielle shipper forever, but Alfie gave him a run for his money in season 2.
Listen, I'm still Gabrielle over here. I'm flying Gabrielle's flag hard all the way home. Don't worry about it. Honestly, I was the new kid at school coming in the second season. And yeah, Alfie gets to ruffle Emily in a different kind of way. Gets to break it down. Yeah, just gets to be a bit more naughty with her, Like they get to drunk and have some fun. And it just opens up a different side for Emily. So I think, Alfie's cool.
Oh, Cooper.
Having someone who's an antagonist of Emily, who doesn't buy into the hype of Paris and is just like, I've always loved England and the humor and sarcasm. And I think it's so refreshing to have that kind of perspective. And I'm pretty sure, Parisians and haters from season 1 are going to love Alfie because that's a bit of truth, We needed a bit of truth truth. Everything was just like bubbly and Paris, Paris, Paris. And it's nice to have like another angle.
You need to decide what you want and not what's going to make everyone else happy.
Who do you think fits best with Emily? Which relationship are you currently rooting for?
I don't know. I don't know.
There's also the option of just like not picking either. That's not fun, is it? She's like, yeah, no.
I don't know. That's really hard.
I think that honestly, like Camille's moved in. This is what she's been wanting this whole time. I would say, Emily, take a beat. This is toxic. This is back and forth. Stop with the give them some space and let's revisit and then Alfie's awesome, try this long
I would
distance
say
thing.
just take a trip to London and see what you feel. If you vibe with Alfie, great. If not, you've taken a trip to London and
because you haven't seen his life. What if it's
what if it's not, you didn't like his apartment?
Yeah
Maybe it's not gonna work out.
Well, I just got so invested personally in fake Emily, so I don't crazy.
No, that's really hard. That's really hard. I don't know.
I think she should stay single. She'll have less problems.
Yeah. A third guy has to come in because how can we choose between Lucas and Lucien? It's impossible.
Yeah.
I've made my decision.
We gotta talk about that epic season 2 cliffhanger. It was so good, but so frustrating. Lily, what do you think Emily is going to do? I know you don't know.
I genuinely don't know, and we keep being so when am I gonna find out? Are we gonna find out? Do we get to go to season 3? What happens?
I really want to know.
We want to know. Let's be real. I think Emily would love a trip to London. I think that would be really fun, but honestly, it's a really quick Eurostar trip. Who's to say she can't have both? I don't know. We'll have to see. I think she's also very honored and surprised that Sylvie wants her to come with her to her job, to the new business. So, I don't know.
Can't wait.
I'd say if I was an author, I would write that she goes to London and she's really disappointed with Alfie and she has to come back.
I don't think I can top that. That's a good one.
We don't know anything. Darren is pretty private about this. I don't think he even knows himself. He likes to tangle everything before he goes on vacation to be sure that when he comes back for next season, he has a massive headache to deal with. That's his problem. I don't want to get into that.
As writers, I feel like we write ourselves, to the cliff's edge and just about often. There's just, and I know we have, we sort of game it out a little bit. There's a number of different ways that things can go. And I always feel that we sort of take those ideas of how things can sort of play out and then try to even surprise ourselves. I think Emily has a lot of interesting choices ahead of her.
And I'm already desperate for season 3. I know that that's a lot to put on you right now, but what is one aspect, should we get another season, that you would love to tackle next?
I really love how Emily gets more assimilated into French culture. And I love seeing that sort of evolution and transformation of somebody who's made Paris their home and how that changes them. And what we really haven't seen, except for Madeline, we get it a little bit, is how Emily is in relation to people that she's sort of left behind, and how being an expatriate for a longer period of time sort of changes her own relationship with her home.
Oh, is it from Mom, Pa Cooper?
Could we see Emily's parents in the next season?
Possibly, sure. I feel like Emily this time in Paris has turned all her assumptions about who she is and what her life's about sort of on their head. So I think that she has so many options open to her. And I think she's at a point where she can take a big risk.
If you're gonna do Paris for 1 year, for God's sake, do it right.